for um, being successful in placement drives on campus as well as offline. So that will help our.
Yeah. So, two things mainly, as I told that you need to clear a written test, and for TCS, it's happened basically online. So there are three, four section which is there. One is first email writing, then your technical ability. There will be some maths question and other things, and then there will be some general questions. Okay, and there will be some English questions as well. So there are a lot of questions in TCS. If you go to tcs.com, there will be some questions patterns you will be getting, and there are some job portals also who basically give mock aptitude test. So that will be very helpful. So if you are joining any site where the sample questions is there, and you can mock test is very also very important. As I told you, it's help you to crack online job. Okay, so after you completing the test, if you cracked it, then you have another three round, which one is technical round, and one is managerial round, and then is HR round. So in technical rounds, normally the technical guy is there and they will be asking a few questions. There will not be a very difficult question, as I can tell you. You will can search some questions in Google also. And we do interview, and I frankly tell you now, we forget everything. Okay. So it sometimes happen that to take interview, we still Google. Okay, what are the question I should ask? Or so for freshers, it's very easy to crack it that technical if you are good in communication and if you are confident, if you are ready to allocate in any location, they will ask you that, okay, are you ready to locate anywhere in the country? You should be saying yes. Okay, because later you will get a lot of opportunity to come back to your hometown, or you will be having preferences to join your hometown. Okay, so they basically see that how you are flexible. Okay, how you are working as a team member. There are few peoples like in TCS or any other companies. Basically, as I told you that we don't work a job as a whole on myself. We need, we will be having a team. So you should be a very good team player. Okay, you should not be like that, okay, I'll be doing everything and I'll be sending mail on my own. So that is a very bad habit. I used to see in there are some people who join in TCS, and also there are some experienced people also. They always want to focus themselves that, okay, I did this, I did this, I did this. In IT industry, nothing is I did this. Okay, we did this. Whenever you are working on a solution, maybe you have done that solution or you have solved that problem. But when you are writing an email, you should be writing that we did this, not I. So email writing is very important. Okay, to whom you are addressing. Okay, how you are addressing, whether you are aggressive or not. You should be polite, and you should be always reply as a team member, not I. Okay, so that is an important point is there. And second thing is when you are completing the technical round, then there will be one managerial round. In managerial round, people used to ask like this type of question, whether you can work in night shift. You say no, I cannot work in night shift. You may not be working in night shift, never, but that is a question to see how mentally fit you are or how you are reacting when you're uh, listening that I need to work in night shift. So you should always tell, yeah, if situation demand, if my company needs me to work in night shift, definitely I will do, because company will provide you cab, the company will provide you the night shift allowance. There will be separate allowance for night shift apart from your salary, and there will be pick up and drop. also. Okay, there are a lot of companies which face basically loss during this COVID period. But as an industry, TCS does a very good basically result in this Q2. Okay, apart from, I mean, people are working from home, they are delivering good, and they are working basically whatever they expected, they are delivering much more about on that. Okay, so you may get an opportunity because the COVID, after COVID, the total dimension changed. So people used to think, okay, I'll be whether I'll be get opportunity to working from home or not. Now people are thinking when I will able to go to office, right? So that scenario also come that I want to go to office. Okay. So, but if you want that you want to work in a company and want to be at home, that is a very good opportunities now after COVID, that you can now work from home. Okay. Um, so that is the thing. So after that technical round, there will be managerial round, and I told that whether you are want to if company send to another company, if you are able to go or not. So like that questions will be asked. And lately, so if you are completing your managerial round, basically your job is secure. But last round will be from HR round, which will be by phone basically. So they will be asking about your salaries and other things. Being a fresher, they may not be asking you about your salaries, but they will be just here and there. And then this process completes. So if you want to join any company, you first go to their website. You see that what are the technologies and what are the things basically they are working on, what are the emerging technologies you should learn. And main things are that apart from doing wasting time basically very much in Facebook, you should uh, learn something at that time. You should read. Okay, every day at least minimum half an hour. If you read, you able to know that what are the things happening in this industry. Okay, so I tell a lot, Ruchira.
Thanks. Thanks, Aditi.
Thank you, ma'am. I think our student will get benefited from your motivational talk, and also the insight of the industry, what are the requirement, and all these things. So, thank you, ma'am. In spite of our busy schedule, we have just given us this time to deliver your talk. Thank you. So,
Yeah,
as a token of,
thank you.
yes, as a token of appreciation, ma'am, we'll just want to send you one certificate to your mail. We'll send it to your email address.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now, as a third speaker of our webinar, we have Dr. Venkata Uday Samir B. Each just a few days before he was working as a data scientist associate in JP Morgan, Bengaluru. But right now, I mean, our HOD said informed, he had just left the job and went to Canada to join Tech Resources in Canada. But before working in the JP Morgan, he also worked as a data scientist in 3K Technologies and in senior system engineer in Infosys Technology. He also worked as an assistant professor in AN Institute of Technology and Science for 1 year. He has total 10 in more than 11 years of experience in industry and academia. Dr. Venkata Uday Samir has completed his BTech from JNTU Kakinada in 2009 and MTech from IIIT Bhubaneswar in 2014. He has completed his PhD this year from NIT Rourkela. He has work experience in machine learning, deep learning, Python, Keras, TensorFlow, C, C++, .NET, Java, SQL, etc. He has several research publications in journal and conference of international repute. I now request Sher to take over the session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible, sir.
Yes. Teach Kant.
Yeah. So yeah, so small disclaimer. I'm not representing any company. Just all the views are personal. So please don't quote me on anything. And thank you to Ruchira ma'am. She is my PhD supervisor, with whom I interacted for over 4 years. It has been 5 years actually, and following after her and to talk is a real privilege actually. And also I thank Miss Shampa Das, who has spoken a lot about very good points about the industry and how the industry works and what you should do, what you should not do. And yeah, both Ruchira ma'am and Sampadas both have covered a lot. And let me see if I can fill anything which they have not covered, but they have covered mostly everything. And yeah, as the title says, post-COVID career opportunities in information technology. It reminds me of one small story, very simple story actually. There were two frogs which fell into curd, dahi. So the first frog, it got panicked, and it prayed to God, and it couldn't do anything, and it just died. The second frog, it kept on trying to get out of the curd, bowl of curd, and after some time, the curd turned into butter, and by jumping onto the butter, it came out of the curd, and it is alive. So basically, the first frog, it didn't do anything. The second frog, it used its time and it did what it could. So that is what it is, right? Post COVID career opportunities in information technology, be it a COVID time or not, if you are not doing anything, you won't succeed. So that is the first thing I wanted to say. And yeah, as Sir has spoken about me, this is my brief biography. I, uh, till a couple of days ago, I'm a data scientist associate in JP Morgan Chase. And before that, I worked as a data scientist in 3K Technologies. I worked as an assistant lecturer and a senior systems engineer in Infosys Technologies as well. So, yeah, this is my education brief also. And coming to the main topic of today's webinar, the career opportunities in information technology. There are so many domains, right, in information technology. As Shampa ji has mentioned, there is development. She spoke about something called development, right? And also she spoke about something called as testing. And also there are other areas like deployment engineering, data science, management, etc., etc., etc. So let me just give you an idea of what all these things are. We all use YouTube every day, right? So let me give an example of YouTube, and let me try to make you understand all the domains of expertise in IT. We have an application called YouTube, which everybody uses to watch videos, right? So the first thing you need for an application is the user interface, right? The graphical user interface, the app, the buttons, the display, the colors, everything. So that is where the front end development happens. Front end means what the user sees. The whatever is visible to the user is called as a front end. And there are engineers who only do that. The graphics department, or the people who build the layout of the web page, everybody. So they all come together to build that actually. And then YouTube has a lot of data, a lot of videos, lot of users data, all such data is there, which is there in some server or in some computer in some part of the globe. So there has to be somebody who should manage all this data, and the people who does that management are the backend people. Backend development happens there. And I'm just giving a very brief idea about it. And the testing or quality assurance department, basically ensures or assures that the testing happens at every phase, at front end, at back end, and at every level, so that before going it to the real user, or the client, everything is working fine. And then there are people who deploy it from the back end to the front end. How does the data come from the server somewhere in the globe to your devices wherever you are? How does the data come to the devices without any loss of data, or without any problems actually? So how does it happen is taken care by this department, deployment engineering department. And then there are other departments. So let me talk about the data science last, because that is the most recent topic. And the management of the organization, every organization or every company should have a HR department, human resources department, finance department, logistics department, etc. So the management of the organization also happens. This is so, as Ruchira ma'am has explained, you need an MBA for that. Not anybody can be a manager, like manager of HR or finance or logistics, etc. And lastly, the most recent or advanced topic is the data science. As the data is growing at a very rapid pace, every company in the world is accumulating a lot of data. So companies have discovered that if you use the data or the historical data correctly, you will benefit the users very well, right? Even YouTube, if you open YouTube, as immediately if you open YouTube, there will be some recommended videos for you, right? You will be shown videos which you might like. So how does it happen? Like, people who have watched those videos who are similar to you, right? So how does this happen? Like, all these thing, you'll obviously like it. Like, many times, whatever recommendations are given to you, most of them you'll definitely watch. So there is a science behind this. There is a science to how this entire recommendation happens. So this is just one example I'm giving from data science. This is not the only example. Other examples also I'll give you. uh, so as I'm sticking to YouTube for this example, in YouTube, the data science part is where the recommendations work. So these are various domains of expertise in IT. And overview of Indian IT industry. Yeah, this is a very good topic actually. Um, you might be knowing a lot of companies, right? Like, I worked for Infosys Technologies. Sampaji worked for TCS, and she is working for TCS, and a lot of other companies are also there. So TCS, Infosys, HCL, Wipro, Accenture, Cognizant or CTS, all these companies are what you call service-based companies. And then there are companies like YouTube, Amazon, Oracle, Microsoft, Yahoo, all these companies, Flipkart, yeah, all these companies are product based companies. So basically, the difference is very simple. For a service based company, there is a client who is not that company, but a third party client is there. Say, for example, let's say Indian Railways, right? Indian Railways needs an app to book train tickets. So that is called IRCTC. We all use IRCTC for booking of train tickets. So there has to be some company. Indian Railways cannot do that, right? Indian Railways job is not to develop an IT application. It will cost them. They don't have the manpower for it. So what they'll do, they'll outsource this job to some company which can do it. Similarly, State Bank of India, SBI, you need a website, right? You need a website for managing your bank account, transfer of funds, all these things. So, but SBI is not. SBI is a bank. SBI is a State Bank of India. Its job is not to develop software. So there are other companies which do the or does these tasks and benefit the previous companies. So these are called service-based companies. They provide service for other companies, Infosys, TCS, etc. Also, there are companies called product based companies. Here, the only difference is they don't have an end client. They themselves are the clients. Let's take an example of Amazon, right? We all use Amazon Prime or Amazon, what is it, the e-commerce website delivery for the online delivery of your goods. So Amazon is a product based company. So it does not develop like the IT people in Amazon, they don't develop software solutions for the other companies. They develop software solutions for themselves. So there are departments, or there are people, there are engineers who take care of the Amazon Prime, or only the Amazon e-commerce website only. So these are called product based companies. And then there is another thing which you should know is a global delivery model. uh, be it what a service based company or a product based company, most of the companies are global, right? Say for example, Infosys, I work for Infosys, and Shampaji is working for TCS. So how does that work? Most of the clients are from US or UK, or in Europe, somewhere in Europe or somewhere in Canada. So it is a global delivery model. Like we in India, the companies in India are working to meet the requirements of a company somewhere on the globe. So how does it work? The client is not here. There's no one, like the time zones are different. I'm in Canada right now, and it is yeah, night actually. So it is 9, almost 10 o'clock in the night, and for India it is morning. So teams cannot coordinate. If somebody is in Canada or US at this time, and the other team, the engineering team is in India, they cannot coordinate because of the time difference. So how does it happen? It uses something called as a global delivery model. The global delivery model, as part of the global delivery model, is that the team works 24 hours for the client, basically. Like say for example, the client is there in US or Canada, and there will be a team deployed in US who will be working at the night time of in Indian time, Indian night time, and there will be a team in India who will be working in the daytime. So that is how they ensure, by working 24 hours for the client's benefit, the project complete gets completed very fast. So this is called global delivery model. This is very important to know, because this is a key point actually. Because see, because it's a global delivery model, you are needed to communicate with a lot of people from other countries, or write emails to other country people who are English native speakers. But we are not. We are English is not our mother tongue. My mother tongue is Telugu, and similarly you have different mother tongues: Bengali, Odia, Tamil, etc. So how do we communicate with the people with the people across the globe plays the crucial part in IT industry. This is what Shampaji has also explained, right? Communication is very important. That is what everybody says. But why exactly is because of this global delivery models. And yeah, current and further opportunities in IT: engineers and data science experts. Like I just put these two things because the engineers are everywhere, in every phase. Sorry, in every phase, be it front end development, back end testing, all every phase has engineers in it. The computer science or IT graduates, or people from any other department of bachelors as well, once they clear their interviews and join a company, they're called engineers. And then there is a science department, data science department. Now this department is coming to every company, be it a service based company or a product based company, because there is a lot of data that is being growing at a very rapid pace. Every company has a lot of historical data, and now people have found that if you use the historical data very well, you can solve a lot of current problems. So let me briefly tell you what those problems that I worked on. So this is what my experience is as a data scientist, right? So the first time I started as a data scientist after I submitted my PhD thesis is at a company called 3K Technologies. So here the uh, the data science task or the main challenge that I've solved is something called as a predictive maintenance. So there is a company in US, which its name is Rockwell Automation. It is a factory maintenance company basically. Like if you imagine um, a factory will have a lot of machinery, right? And every machinery, let's take an example of a steel plant. A steel plant will have a lot of machinery. A furnace will be there, and some lot of trucks will be there, a lot of people will be involved, cranes will be there, lever will be there. So many machinery will be there. Thousands and thousands of machinery in a single plant will be there in any company, any factory. So there is this company called Rockwell Automation, which installs sensors, IoT devices at these plants for every machine, and they take readings from every machine separately. So my task is to predict which machine is going to fail. That is very important, right? Once it happens, it halts the production cycle, right? Say for example, a conveyor belt has broken. Now everybody has to stop production and then first fix the conveyor belt and then go on to the job. Like the job continues. It costs them a lot of money and a lot of manpower, a lot of resources. Like planning goes haywire. Planning is very difficult. But what if it can be predicted? If we can predict which machine is going to fail by because like from the readings, right, from the sensor readings, it will save a lot of money for every company. So that is what I've done in this company, 3K Technologies. This is a data science task. It's a prediction task, predictive maintenance task. And in the other company, my previous company, JP Morgan, this is one of the oldest banks in the world. It has been there for the last 220 years. I think it is the oldest bank in the world. This is a kind of a, see, for TK Technologies, it is a service based company. I am I am an employee. I was an employee of 3K Technologies, but the solution I designed was for some other company, which is called Rockwell Automation. But for the JP Morgan Chase, it's not a service based company. It is like a product based company. They are a bank. JP Morgan Chase is a bank, and the data science team. I am part of the fraud detection department. So my job is to figure out if any fraud is happening or not in the transactions. Not manually, but it has to be automated because every minute there will be hundreds of transactions generated across the globe. So how do we do that is by studying this beautiful science called as data science. And there are machine learning and deep learning algorithms which we use to do that task. And right now I'm in Canada, and I just joined a company called Tech Resources. It is a 100-year-old mining company. So there I'll be involved in a team which my task is going to be to optimize the blast optimization department. So what it is that, say for example, in a mine, in mines, right, they do a lot of bomb blasts to dig holes into the ground, or to like blast a mountain to get rocks out of it, and they do the mining process later. But they need to find out the optimum or optimal strategy to do this blast, when to do it, how to do it, and then after they do the blast, how many trucks should be sent, and in which way, if you like all the optimization, the entire optimization happens there. So if we can, like the data science team, if it can help optimize the paths, then a lot of money will be saved for the company. So this is briefly about the data science, that is an emerging area in today's IT industry. And so, what makes a successful candidate in IT? Miss Shampaji has covered it beautifully. Yeah, marks. If you like, marks will get you to the door. It Doors will be open for from a company if you have good marks. No doubt about that. You need good marks, but apart from that, you need a problem-solving attitude. Everybody in a company is trying to solve a problem, right? There is a problem. You have to develop a web page. It is a problem. How do you do it? There will be a challenge. How do you overcome it? So this is the problem solving attitude. You need that. And then the communication part. Communication is extremely important. Everybody says that. I've said it. Ruchira ma'am has said it. Everybody has says it, and it is the fact. And eagerness to learn. You need to learn every day, and you need to update yourself with the new technologies or new concepts, so that the technology is changing every year. Every few months the technology changes. So you should have that eagerness to learn. And lastly, this is what I believe: you either love what you do or do what you love, but you should enjoy. If you don't have it, then the job gets boring and you won't like it. You'll just do it for the sake of it. It is of no use. Okay, so you need the passion. Basically, you should have the passion towards any job that you do. And then tips for job preparation. Sampaji has covered it. Should plan and execute. Basically, you should, as Sampaji has said, you should visit company's website, or in job, what is it, Naukri or fresherworld.com. You have this. You have the formats of every company. Not every company, like most companies have a written exam followed by technical discussions, but some of the companies, the pattern is different from each other. Service based companies have one strategy, product based companies have different strategies. So you should research and then execute that. Like, you should make a plan. If you think you are weak in data structures, you read, you practice, you ask you questions from faculty, or if you figure out a way to improve yourself in the areas that you are weak in. And if you think you are weak in communication, you practice, you take time to improve yourself. That is what it's all about. Then there is problem solving ability, aptitude, and basic English. Like, this is what is there in the written exam, right? The basic maths, like, I forgot, aptitude. Lot of simple math based questions will be there. Time and energy, work, how much work will be done. All these kinds of questions will be there, which are very easy. And but you should practice a little so that you'll be able to do that in the given time. And basic English you have to practice. Grammar has to be correct. Comprehension, the comprehension part is nothing but your email writing, or you'll be given a passage and like a paragraph, and you'll be asked some 5 or 6 questions. You have to answer it. It's very simple, but you just need to know what is there in the written exam. And communicate your projects well. This question will get asked, right, for the final year students who have done their projects or their mini projects or internships. You should be able to communicate what you have done in your project very well. That is very important. And then coding, yeah, C, Java, Python, SQL, all like, not in most of the companies. If you are good in C, that is enough for the campus placement. So after they graduate, if you are good in C, that is enough. But if you want to stand apart from the crowd, you need to have knowledge on at least Java or Python. Like, you'll have those labs also, right, in your curriculum. So practice it. And why C is not used in the industry a lot, but C is like the mother tongue, right? See, my mother tongue is Telugu, but I learn other languages through my mother tongue. I learn Hindi through my mother tongue. I learn English through my mother tongue. And after some time, I practice, and the other language I can get used to. Similarly, if you know, if you can master C, that gives you the ability to master any other language. That is why C is very important. And practice. Yeah, you should practice a lot of basic stuff. Like you should not, after going to an exam, you should not think from scratch. You should, like, the questions are very basic, right? You should not make silly mistakes, syntactical errors. You should not do that, and that is very important. And some important websites I'm keeping here. I'm not covering a lot here, but I think these are very basic and they should be worth exploring. And yeah, for coding practice, there is a beautiful website called Hacker Rank. If I don't know if there is double R or small R, you can Google it. There is this website called Hacker Rank. I think there are more than 10 languages on which you can code here, and they give you challenges and then you can solve it, and you can basically create a profile. Nowadays many companies are asking for this profile. If you already have a Hacker Rank profile, you can share it with the company saying, I know C, I'm level 5 in C, I'm level 13 or level 15 in Python. You can say that. That adds value to your profile. And there are a lot of mock courses, Coursera and Udemy. You already know this. Others are also there, but I personally have used these two to upgrade myself in data science, Coursera and Udemy. And then there is a beautiful machine learning hackathons happen. Not just machine learning hackathons happen in many other platforms as well. But for machine learning hackathons, these two are very good websites, Kaggle and Analytics Vidya. Also, this analytics Vidya, I definitely recommend you to read the blogs. You just subscribe. Basically, you subscribe, you give your email address. Every day you'll get something new to read every day. By the time you wake up, you'll have your mobile, like on your mobile phone, if you have Gmail or an email, you'll get an email from Analytics Vidya saying, see, this is what has something new has come, please read about it. You do it. It hardly takes 5-10 minutes, so you can upgrade yourself on many topics. And yeah, thank you. I think I didn't take much time, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask at any time, and I'll be definitely happy to answer it.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think a student will get a very, good idea in the recent topics like data science and what are the opportunities and what maybe the job responsibility with the data science. So I now request our students, if you have any question, you can ask. Uh, yes, do you have any question? So I think, and they are not interested to ask any question. Uh, so thank you, sir. In spite of this, your long journey and other headache, you have just given us this time to deliver your talk. I think some of our students definitely will be able to motivate themselves to go with this new field, and we are just hoping for that. Thank you, sir. As a token of appreciation, we will just try to offer you one e-certificate for delivering your lecture from our institute. We will deliver it to your email address, sir.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Uh, Now, as you have no other question, so you can just say if you have any question later, uh, we will provide you the email address if we contact with the HOD. If you have any question, we have the expert from the industry as well as the academia. So you can ask them whatever you have your doubts. Okay, so with that, we now coming to end of our webinar. So At the end, I just request our HOD sir to deliver the vote of thanks and conclude. Over to HOD sir.
Oh, yes. Can you listen me, Apurvo?
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello, Apurvo.
Ah,
Oh,
it is audible.
okay. Okay. Yeah, we are end of the webinar today. As all things comes to an end in life, so is the webinar. So, on behalf of College of Engineering and Management, Kolaghat, I take this opportunity to propose that vote of thanks to those who have directly or indirectly contributed to this webinar organized by IT department. At the outset, I express my sincere thanks to our resource persons, Dr. Ruchira Naskar, Mrs. Sampadash, and Dr. Uday Samir for accepting our invitation and present in this webinar. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. I would like to thank our director, sir, for his inspiring mentorship. A special thanks to the organizing committee, teaching and non-teaching staff for their constant support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to our students for their active participation with this. Thank you, sir. Yes, Apurva.
Thank you, sir. I think we have just come to end of the session, end of this webinar, and I just want to convey whoever the student who have joined this webinar, they'll get a e-certificate, but for processing we need some time. So we'll send the e-certificate to the respective mail. Okay. And again, I just request, I mean, for future preparation, whatever the knowledge you just gather from this webinar, from the resource person, from the reputed academic institute, as well as the industry, you please prepare with that. Of course, with that regular, I mean, way, what you have think you have just got some other idea also how you can proceed and you can get benefited in the future and you can make your life. So I think this webinar will be helpful if some of you at least got benefited from that and you prepare yourself in that way. Okay. Thank you for attending this webinar. And I think we are now come to an end and we can then conclude. Okay, thank you. We are just coming to the end of this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Samir, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.